In this video, we're going to have a general look at using Collaclot and how we'd actually use it in the real world in pet emergencies. Now, in other videos, we've shown the benefits of Collaclot, so we're not going to go too much over that, but we wanted to concentrate on how you would deal with Collaclot, how you would use it, and also in further videos, we'll look at different injuries and how you'd use it to treat those particular injuries. Now, when you're dealing with pet first aid, it's a good idea to have a pet first aid kit to start with, so you've got all your bits and pieces in one kit. Lots of them available. We sell a full range of pet first aid kits. You can see those on firstaidonline.co.uk. But all of our main kits here, all the bits and pieces we've got here are standard items in the first aid kit. The only bit that's not as a standard item in the first aid kit is going to be the Collaclot. So with our kits, you can upgrade them and have Collaclot included. If you've got your own first aid kit, I would recommend that you buy the Collaclot, get it into your first aid kit, because you never know when you're going to need this. Now, with this here, we're using the larger size of Collaclot, just some sample pieces of that. Obviously, there's the two sizes, depending on which one you go for. If you can, I would go for the larger size, because the larger size will allow you to deal with anything. Other bits and pieces you might need. The Collaclot will be used, we'll show you shortly. You can put that into the wound, onto a wound, things like that to stop the bleeding. But you're going to need some extra bits and pieces from your first aid kit. And these are just straightforward dressings that we would use in first aid. Also, you can use non-adherent dressings to put over the Collaclot to hold it in place, and also gauze swabs. And cohesive bandage can also be used. The advantage of cohesive bandage is it sticks to itself, it doesn't stick to the hair. So it'll only stick to itself, which is really good for holding things in place. So with these sort of things, a standard kit, and maybe you haven't got the actual pads yourself, these are non-adherent pads, but a non-adherent pad, all that is actually the pad on a standard dressing. So it's this type of pad here. So you can take a normal dressing. This is an HSE medium dressing out of a normal first aid kit. So it's out of our kits, our pet kits, but exactly the same dressing is in a workplace first aid kit or a child kit or any home kit you get. When you open it up, you'll see that this has got the bandage and the pad wrapped onto it. So what you can do is just take some scissors and cut that. So if you just want to be working with the pad on its own, you can just cut off the bandage, and then you're just left with a non-adherent pad. So it won't stick to the wound, it'll be nice and easy to work with. These bits, you can just throw those away. And now you've got the pad itself. Alternatively, you've got these pads, you might have these in your first aid kit already. Now, it's got a bit of bandage over the top. That doesn't really matter. It's quite good in a way, because it shows you which side goes towards the wound. So you obviously don't want to have that side. You put this side onto the wound. Now, where we would use this is you can apply the Collaclot onto the wound, and then you can put this in place as well to hold it in place while it's actually doing its thing to actually set and stop the bleed. And then also you can use another bandage over the top to cover it. So with Collaclot, you don't really need an awful lot of stuff with you. So if you're worried about cuts, you're going to an environment, you're doing agility or something like that, where an animal could get cut, or gun dogs and things where cuts are more of a problem than anything else, you can then make yourself a really, really small kit. So we also do a special bleed kit, which is just for dogs. So it's a sealed unit in a pouch. It's great for any weathers. And in that, all you've really got is the Collaclot, and you've got the dressing. So it's just as simple. So with one piece of this, the small piece of this, or the larger size, and one of these, you can make yourself a perfect dressing that deals with a catastrophic injury, as well as dealing with the small stuff. In other videos, we'll look at how to deal with individual types of cuts, but in this video, we just summarised exactly what you'd need in your first aid kit to deal with bleeds, and also to use Collaclot to its best.